In this video, we will have a look on how to use Booleans in Blender. So here, the first thing I will do, there are some native tools to use to make Booleans in Blender. But first of all, let's activate the right add-on for that. It will really help us for this. So I will go into get extensions. I will search for bool like this. You will have bool tool. I will just install like that. And now I have my bool tool add-on that it's available there. So what it gives us, you have here into the edit section a new tab here that is called Boolean, and this add-on helps us to make some Boolean operations. What is a Boolean operations? A Boolean operation. A Boolean operation, it's an operation that is made between two geometries, between two objects, and it works with volume especially well. Sometimes with surfaces, but it's better to use it with volumes. So how to use that? I will just remove these two objects, keep my cube here, and add here with Shift A UV sphere and put it into the corner just like that with a G. Okay, good. So now I have my auto Boolean here and my brush Booleans here. It's two different things, but it makes the same kind of result. I will show you how it works. So the first one, if you select your first object and you select your second object and make a difference, for example, it will make a hole in your cube with the shape of the sphere, okay? So very easy to understand. If I make a union, it makes only one object. It's not the same as making a Ctrl J, and I will show you that with Shift D X. Okay, I will have the two same objects there. With these two, I make Ctrl J, and with these two, I make a union. Okay, so with the Ctrl J, I still have inside my object the geometry of the other object. So actually, it's not only one geometry; it's two geometries that has an intersection inside. But with the union, with the Boolean, it makes only one surface. You can see that I have nothing inside. So it's very important to understand the difference here. Here I cannot separate it again with the union I made. Here I can separate it. I can separate these two if needed. So that's why it's important to understand. I make Ctrl Z to come back until there. And I can make an intersect. So the intersect is the intersection between the two objects, so can be very useful as well. And I can make a slice, so the first one will cut the object in two parts. So after, it's the only operation that after I will have two objects there, okay? So here, it's the auto Boolean, it's a destructive operation. A destructive operation is something that if you come back, if you continue to make your project, you cannot come back to it except with Ctrl Z. But when you use the brush Boolean there, it's a different behavior that happens. Here I will use non-destructive tools, and you can see that I still have my brush, they call it brush, that's why brush Boolean, and this brush that makes a hole inside the other object, okay? So I can scale it down, scale it up, move it, make a rotation. It will make always the hole in real time, okay? And maybe I will add another operation, like for example, a cylinder, and make S Shift Z, SZ, and put it there. Okay, and maybe I will make a difference as well with the other object. You have to select two objects or it will not work. Okay, and now I have this kind of shape like this. Good. And maybe I can put another again. It works with multiple tools, multiple objects at once. Like for example, if I add a cube, scale it down, maybe scale it into the x-axis and scale it up to have this kind of shape here. I put it there, and maybe I will make shift the X a little and shift R to repeat the operation. Like this, I will have these objects here. So I will select all of these objects, and at last here, my main cube. Now, if I make a difference, it will work directly as well, okay? So I can hide the cutters, I can remove the cutters, I can apply all the cutters, and yeah, so if you want to see your object only, you can just use this. So it can be very useful to create some new shapes and to evolve into your modeling. So that's why using Booleans is very important in modeling, but be careful, it creates a lot of triangles. So now if I come back to there, you can see that here I have some modifiers. Modifiers are non-destructive tool. I can enable them. I can enable them in render, apply them if needed. So, or I can apply all cutters like that. And you can see that it will apply all the modifiers here. And now I have my new geometry that is finished. So yeah, Booleans are good, but in a way, there are some limitations with Booleans. We will talk about modeling with quads after, and you can see that here I will have a lot of triangles here. If I show you the triangles here, you will have a lot of triangles everywhere in this shape. And so that's why it's sometimes it can be useful, but if you want to use to make modeling with quads, and I will show you that it's very important later into the edit mode chapter, sometimes it can have some limitation. Like for example here with these objects, I cannot add a modifier generate subdivision surface. It will create a strange shape, very impossible to manage this, okay? So if you want to use this kind of modifier after, you cannot with the shape because it has too much triangles everywhere and too much strange topology there. So it's a kind of limitation, but except this limitation, you can make all the shapes you want, and it's very, very powerful, especially for example with 3D printing. It's very, very powerful to add shape, remove shapes. So yeah, very, very good one. I will show you a few modeling with that. The first one I will show you, it's a very simple one. It's a mug. So let's call this collection mug. And we will remove this and add a cylinder, a mug shape, actually. Perfect. So I have a cylinder, and we will keep these values. We will go into the front view here, and maybe with SZ, we will make our cup a little bigger because we love a lot coffee. And into wireframe mode, I will duplicate my object, keep it there with the right click, and I will scale it down and scale it up with SZ, okay, like that, and put it a little like this. So what I want to do actually, if I want to make a hole inside that one, like this, I will have the inside of my shape. Good. But I want to add here another shape, and it will be the handle. So I will add a torus there. And this torus, I will keep the options more or less like that and go into the front view, make a air 90 degrees into the x-axis and put it somewhere with J and S, something like that. Okay, so let's say you made your operation here with the difference like this. So now you have this. So if I add this, it will not work. So what I can do in that case, I use a cube just here. That will be only to cut that one. So maybe I will not cut it here, but inside somewhere there, okay? And so I make a difference here, and now I have this shape that I can add to this with the union. And now I have a mug. So this mug, I can put it on the ground like this. It will be easier to move. And what I do, I put this with Control A location. Here you can see that our origin point is now there, and if I move it now, it will be perfectly aligned with the object under. If I want to use always this one here, okay? So here we have a mug or a cup, as you want. You can play with these values to have different shapes. This is the first one. Maybe to the next one, we will make a USB key, let's say. Okay, so let's add a USB key. Let's go for that. Let's add a new collection, call it USB key. You can work with the object not far from you, or you can work with images as well. I will show you that later, how to add image reference images. So we hide the mug here, go into USB key, and we will add cube, let's say. Okay, we will make S Shift X to have a shape like that. Good. And SZ. This will be the beginning of our key. We'll make a Shift D here into the X-axis. Scale it into the Y-axis. Scale it into the Z-axis, maybe somewhere here. It's not that bad. And we will make a join already, a union, not a join. It's different. And we will add another cube here, scale it down, put it there. We'll make the plug here a little better. Okay, so I will go into front view, side view. I will make SZ like this. Okay, and we will put this inside with SX as well. Good. SZ, maybe a little on top over there. Nice one. So now I can make a difference. And maybe I will add, you see you have two little squares on these keys like that. So what I will do, I will add the cube again as Shift D to put it very thin. So we can put it somewhere like that, and again scale it like this. Good. GX, sorry, I put it there. And now I will make SX because it's not totally a square from my remembering. I don't have any key beside me, but I know it's somewhere like that. So inside view here, you can see in wireframe what you do. And what I will do, I will put one here on top. Okay, somewhere there. And with a Shift D, Y, the other will be somewhere here. Perfect. So now I have there's two objects that will make holes directly with the difference here. Good. So maybe here I would like to have a round shape there, this kind of round shape here, and with a hole inside that you can maybe use this key on yeah, just to put this key somewhere if you want to grab it. So let's go here with a cylinder this time. Okay, cylinder, we scale it down. We will put it there directly here. GX, just like that. Scale it up. In front view, we'll make a Z. Okay, and we have our shape, basic shape, as Z again to have something like that. Okay, good. So I will duplicate this before because I will use a duplication of it, but I will make first of all a join, a union. Okay, and with the duplication here, I will scale it down and scale it into the Z-axis. Like this, now I can create a hole with difference. Okay, now I have my USB key. That's perfect. Let's call it USB key. Good. So now we have our object. Again, if we want that the object sticks well on the ground, what we have to do is to put our object on the ground here and use the shortcut Control A, apply location, and now we have our location that is well set. Good. The next one will be maybe a little more complicated. We will create a desk, okay? And let's go for that. New collection, we will call it desk. Good. Now, what we want to do, we will start by the top of the desk with a cube here. Maybe we'll make a Z to have something very thin, okay? And SX, just like that. Let's say this kind of shape, it's good for the top. Here we will reuse this shape to make Shift D and air 90 degrees, SZ, and put this somewhere here, okay, to have this kind of shape. Maybe we'll make a SY as well to put it a little thinner on this axis. And with this shape made, what we will do, we'll make Shift DX and SX to make it bigger. To have a kind of shape like that, okay? So it will be a good start for a desk. What we would like here is to add some drawers. So what we will do for that, I will duplicate that one and scale it into the general axis and SZ to have the first one. Let's say this kind of shape. SX a little bigger. SY, what we would like to do is to create the shapes, to create the holes of our drawers, okay? So I will make GZ to put it there. I think we have a good shape now. Shift DZ and Shift R to make a repeat. So we can see that we need more space here. So what we can do, we can remove this too. I will scale it down into the Z-axis and put it a little above. Shift DZ again to put it there and Shift R. Now we have something good. Perfect. So what we want to do, we want to keep one somewhere. So I will duplicate that one and hide it because I want to create the holes just like that. So to make this, I will select the 3 and that one at last, make a difference. Okay, we have the one. Now we want to make a join with these 3, so we'll make a union. Okay, and with that one, now we will create a drawer. So what we will do, we will keep the shape and scale it into the Y-axis. Like this, it will be just the right shape. Just like this. Perfect. Now I will hide the originals here and duplicate this one, make a S, Shift Z, and GZ to have this kind of shape like this. Okay, now I can create a difference. So I will have a basic drawer. But now I want a handle like that, so I will add a handle. I will use maybe a torus like this. This torus, I want it into the center of this object. So what I do to put this object at the same location, I could go there and copy the locations of my drawer here and paste it here, but it will be too complicated. So what I will do, I will make Shift S and put the cursor to the selection here. And now I make Shift S again and I make the selection to the cursor. So now I'm sure that it's well in place. So what I will do now, I will scale it down, scale it into the y-axis and put it there to have my handle. Okay, yeah, like this it should be good, but we can see that we have a little, and yeah, to be really good it has to be there, and we can see that we have this that comes out. We don't want that, so add a cube again just to make the shape that we need. So now we just cut this with the edit tool here, difference, and now we can make this and make a union. So we have our object that is well set. Now with the original here, we can select that one and make a Shift DZ 2 times with Shift R, and now we have our object. What I like is to keep the desk and to keep the drawer separated. So here I can call it drawer. Make a Control C of that. And now you just have to make Control V and Control V, just like that. So we have everything that is well done. Now we would like to put it on the ground, GZ, just like this. And GX a little maybe. Okay. And now we'll add an empty because we have multiple objects. It did come there because the cursor is there, so I will make Shift C to put the cursor into the center and Shift A, empty sphere into the center like that. This will be our desk. Okay, and we will parent everything with Control P there. So that means that we can move the main object and we still have the possibility to open the drawers, for example, like that. So it can be very useful. So that's it for this desk. So yeah, you can see that the Booleans are very powerful and that you can play a lot already with more complex shapes and more interesting shapes. Something that can be used as well for modeling is maybe we'll make a grill or something like that. So let's go for a mesh here, cube. Okay, let's call this grill. Or grid, or yeah, it depends the shape you want to make with that. But let's start with a cube with SZ, very thin like that. Something like this. Okay, good. And maybe we'll scale it up with 10, maybe 10 times like this. Good. So now we'll add a cylinder, not too big and not with a lot of vertices because we will duplicate it a lot. So maybe 16 might be enough. Just like this, yeah, because it will be to create little holes everywhere. So what we can do now, we can use a modifier. So I will make a full video about modifiers, but here it's just to repeat the shape of this into an axis like that. So what I will do, I will put this object there, scale it down, maybe Okay. Good. And put it on the grid directly. So what I will do, I will increment it with the grid. Like this, I'm sure that it will stay on the grid directly. Perfect. Now I will add modifier generate array. Array will duplicate the geometry like that. I will use the constant offset and put 1 meter, so 2 meters, I guess. Maybe 3 meters. Yeah, like this, it's good. And I would like to stay on the grid, so I will use here 4 meters, I guess. Yeah, and it should stay on the grid. Yeah, I have to apply the scale to make it well. Yeah, so it will work far better. Maybe I will keep every 2 meters and I will increase the count. Just like this. Perfect. Now I will add another array modifier, exactly the same, but it will not be into the x-axis. The first is the x, but it will be into the y-axis. And it will not be positive, but negative value, -2. And you can see that now I can increase the number. I could do this manually as well, but it's just to show you the power of the modifiers. We will make a full video, a full chapter actually about it. We will modeling only with these modifiers. So here we have our first object, our second object, and again we make a difference, and what we have, it's a kind of grid. Okay, so this is very cool. Now I can increase the size in edit mode as well, and it will increase the size of my of all the little holes here. We will have a full chapter about edit mode. We could play with different shapes as well. Now we have a cylinder, but if we add a cube, okay, and put it there again with the grid well set, and scale it into the object mode, and again apply the scale. It's very important to make it work well. So what I can do, I can select here there's 2 modifiers and copy them into the other object. So what I can do, I can select this object with this object and make Control L, and we can copy modifiers. Oops, it's the other way. This one to that one. Control L, copy modifiers, and now we can see that all the cubes, they have the same. And so we can make different grid shapes. Like for example, we could duplicate that one here, okay, and hide it. Now we have this shape here with a brush Boolean or just an auto Boolean, just like that. So we have this kind of shape. Or we could use the second one here, this one to that one, make a difference, and now you will have this kind of shape. And this kind of shape, you can repeat them after to make a bigger grid, okay? So could be very useful as well. And now you have a big grid just like this. So yeah, very powerful tool, and the Boolean tools here that you can use. I really recommend you to experiment with that. Try to make these little exercises to see how to manage the desk, how to manage the USB key, how to manage the mug, and how to make this grid as well. So now that we have a few objects, we can create a new scene and create a first scene that we will put all the objects together and see how to interact objects with other objects, and like this they can stick together or not. And yeah, we will make a little scene with that. We will see that in the next video.